Hi everyone, it's Mr. Nguyen here. Today we're going to be working on using the quadratic formula to solve quadratic equations. Okay, so I'm going to be using this quadratic formula with the blank spaces here to help you figure out what's A, what's B, and what's C, and how all of those values go into the formula. And I will be showing you how to use your graphing calculator to simplify some of these math uh, uh, expressions. Okay, so let's get started with this first example here. Use my little pen here. So here is my function. So here's my equation. It's make sure the first thing we need to make sure is that it's set equal to 0. And I think all of these problems are like that. So if I write my equation in here, you could see that this is going to be 8. This is going to be 8. And that's going to be 2, right? So my A value, wherever there's an A, I put 8 in there, okay? And there's an 8 here. So it's negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4 times A times C, all divided by 2 times A, okay? So my B value is 8, which is positive. So I'm going to put a positive 8 in here. And my C value is 2. So I put 2 in here. So you have this, and you want to simplify this, right? So this right here is still negative 8, right? So this is going to be negative 8 plus or minus the square root of. Now you can simplify this without a calculator if you want to, but a calculator might help, right? When the numbers get a little wackier. 8 squared is 64. Minus, we got to take care of all of this multiplication here. So this is, what is it, 32, right? 4 times 8 is 32, and then times 2 would be 64. Oh, so this is also minus 64. Well, then that becomes 0. So I know from learning, and then 2 times 8 is 16. Oops, what am I writing? This 2 times 8 is 16. Uh-oh. 2 times 8 is 16, so I'm actually going to write 16 here, right? 16. Okay. So this is 0, so I know I'm just going to have one solution. Okay, so if the discriminant is equal to 0, then I have one real solution, which is negative 8 divided by 16. Well, negative 8, and the reason it's one solution is because if you add or subtract 0, it's the same number. Negative 8 divided by 16 turned out to be negative 1 over 2, right? Negative 1 over 2. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to enter my solution as negative 1 over 2. And there's only one solution. I'm just going to put it in one time. And I think it will accept my answer if I put it in one time. So well, let's see. Negative 1 over 2. Oops. Should you type it in right? There you go. Okay. All right. So let's do this one. So I'm still gonna go back to this right here, but I'm not gonna plug in numbers anymore. I'm just gonna do it right on the screen here. Okay. So blue color's fine. Yes. So x equals, or g in this case. I'm just so used to that letter x. So here's my formula over 2 times A. So that's where A is going to go. I know my A is 3. That's A. Okay. So I'm going to put 3 in there. Okay. And it's negative B. So whatever that is, B is going to go in there. Plus or minus the square root of B squared. So I'm going to put B here and then square that. Minus 4. The 4 is fixed. It will never change. So, and then A goes here, which I know is 3. And then C. C is 3 also. Okay. And then B. B go in here and here. So B is 6 right here. So 6 goes here and 6 goes here. Okay. So now I'm going to simplify. In my head the easy numbers that I could simplify. So negative 6 I could do plus or minus the square root of. I'm going to leave that blank. I'm going to use the calculator to help me. The bottom, I get 6. So that I know. Now, they don't cancel, so don't cancel them. Let's use the calculator to help you with everything inside all at once, right? So you could do parentheses 6 squared minus 4 parentheses 3 parentheses 3. Okay, enter. So, oh, it's 0 again. Oh, great. So again, you have one solution. Every time discriminant is 0, you have one solution. So -6 divided by 6 will give you -1. So our solution here, I'll go ahead and write it down here, -1. Okay, so our solution, there's only one solution. It has happened to be -1. All right, we got lucky with the first two problems. All right, this one, technically, you should not use quadratic formula to solve for this one, because if you can factor it, why not, right? So I'm going to show you this. I'm not going to use quadratic here because that defeats the purpose of being able to pick and choose which is the best method to solve, right? This one you can factor easily. Oops, sorry, by the bell. Y and y give you y squared, and then -8 times -1 give you positive. So it's going to be, oh, it's a +9. Oh, wait. Oh, you cannot factor this one. Oh, so using quadratic formula is good. So this actually gives you a good example here. So sometimes things cannot be factored, right? Because -8 and -1 make -9, and this is a +9, so it's positive. So you cannot factor this one. So if that's the case, we want to use quadratic formula, right? So I just showed you, always try to factor it first before you use quadratic formula, okay? So let's do this. My a is 1, because the coefficient in front of y squared is 1. So y will equal to, my b is 9, okay? And my c, be careful, it is -8. Okay? So I'm going to substitute things in here, 2a. So 2 times 1, -b. So -9, because b is 9, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 9 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is -8. Okay. So what you do is you're going to simplify the easy numbers first. So -9 can be simplified by plus or minus the square root. That math right there, I'm going to do it on my calculator. Divided by 2, because 2 times 1 is 2. So I'm going to go to my calculator and do this mess here. 9 squared minus 4 parentheses 1 parentheses -8. And then that will give me 113. Okay, I know square root of 113 is pretty much done. So these are the kind of solution you get, but the practice on IXL actually allow us to do decimal. So we're actually going to get a decimal number here. So I'm going to show you how to carefully type this into your calculator, okay? So all of this right here has to go first in its own parentheses, and then you divide by 2, okay? So we're going to do parentheses, -9. We're going to do the plus first, the square root of 113. And make sure you get out of that square root, close the parentheses, then divide by 2. So it's 8.15 to the nearest hundred. Hundreds mean 2 places, 2 decimal places, 2 dp, okay? So it's going to be 0.82. So one of my solution is 0.82. I'll leave it there, and now I'm going to go back to my calculator. I'm not going to type all of that again. I'm just going to do second enter to recall all of that. And all I have to do is change this to a minus. Enter. -0.82. I mean, -9.82. So -9.82. All right, enter. Ta-da. Okay, definitely quadratic. Because leading coefficient is that usually when leading coefficient is more than anything than a 1, then I use quadratic formula. But we're going to use that anyway here. Y equals negative b, which is negative 9, because 9 itself is b right here, or negative 9, over 2a, which is 2 times 3, plus or minus the square root of, the students in the hallway are really loud. I don't have my door closed. All right, so b squared, so make sure you get the parentheses there, negative 9 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is 6, okay? And now I'm gonna simplify the first one. Well, y is equal to positive 9, because that negative and the negative make positive, plus or minus the square root of a mass. I'm going to use the calculator to help me figure out what the mass is. All over 6. 2 times 3 is 6. There goes the bell. All right, so let's do this one. Parentheses, negative 9 squared minus 4, parentheses 3, parentheses 6, enter. Oh, it's 9. Nice. Well, square root of 9 is 3. So my two solution is, or are, 9 plus or minus 3 over 6, right? So this is two cases. You have a plus and a minus. So I'm going to do 9 plus 3 over 6 first, and then 9 plus 3. I mean, not plus 3, minus 3. I already did the plus case. What am I saying? Minus 3 over 6. Then we could actually do this in our head. This is 12 divided by 6, which is 2. So one of our solution is 2. This is 9 minus 3, which is 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So we could actually factor that one, right? Because the solutions are actually nice whole numbers. We could actually factor that one, but I was just too lazy to try to factor it. So let's put in our solution, 1 and 2. 1, 2, and hope that I did it correctly. Yay. All right, pretty much the same. I'm going to do one last problem, and then I'm going to stop, because it's actually pretty much the same. A, B, C, plug it in, right? So let's try one more. K equal big giant fraction bar, 2 times A goes here. So A is 4. It's a lovely parentheses. Negative B. Okay, be careful here. B is negative 7. So negative 7. That's your B. Okay. Plus or minus the square root of b squared. Again, parentheses, b squared, 7 squared. Minus 8, or no, I'm sorry, minus 4ac. So minus 4 times a, which is 4, and times c, which is negative 8. That's what I meant to say. Okay, let's simplify this. 7 positive plus or minus the square root of a mass and over 8. Okay, and so now we're going to use our calculator. We're going to do parentheses, negative 7 square, wow, minus 4, negative 8, enter. So 177. So I know we're going to get a decimal answer, some decimal solutions here. So let's put this into our calculator and see what we get. I don't need all of that. All right, so let's do the first one. Again, remember, oops, wrong one. So remember, let me close this. Remember, we need to do the plus first, and all of this needs to be in its own parentheses, right? If I'm going to put it in the calculator, okay? So parentheses 7 plus the square root of 177, and then make sure you get out of that square root, and then close then divide by 8. Okay. Oops, I didn't divide. Second enter, divide 8. 2.54. Okay, I got to round this 8 up. So 2.54 is one solution. 2.54. The other solution, remember, all you have to do is second enter, recall it, and then go change this to a minus. Now our second solution is negative, oh, what was it? Negative 0.79, because I got to round that up. So negative 0.79. Okay, so I'm going to go and type it in. I'm going to type the negative answer first. It doesn't really matter. Negative 0.79 and 2.54. Oops. All right, so guys, I hope that helps. Make sure you use the formula, plug in your numbers first before you try to do any calculations, okay? Just to be careful. And you need to be specifically, especially careful when the values are actually negatives, okay? So good luck, and let me know how it goes, and if you have any questions. So don't forget to subscribe to my video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.